for graduate students who are beginning their studies with us, a new program in January, winter 2025, for all new students to McMaster, international and domestic. So without further ado, I will begin to share through this webinar. And here we go. First, a land acknowledgement. McMaster University recognizes and acknowledges that it is located on the traditional territories of the Mississauga and Haudenosaunee nations and within the lands protected by the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Agreement. So for today's overview, we are going to talk about an overview of the School of Graduate Studies, resources and services for graduate students, resources and services for international students, some information about traveling to McMaster, and then we have the Q&A going throughout the session. So first of all, the School of Graduate Studies, there's a photo on the screen here of Gilmore Hall, which is the building where the School of Graduate Studies is located. And so hopefully we'll be able to see you soon in or around this building. So the School of Graduate Studies, we are the central administration and resources for all faculties that covers admission to graduation. We also manage PhD defenses, the rules and regulations, as well as forms and policies governing graduate education at McMaster. Also within the School of Graduate Studies, we have scholarships and awards team. We cover grad pay inquiries. There's a grad student resources team, which you'll hear more about, and the Office of Postdoctoral Affairs. Now, on to the business portion of this webinar. Very important, enrollment. So enrollment has opened. It opened on November 21st. So you can register if you haven't done so already in your academic courses or a placeholder course. You'll need to also enroll in something called SGS 101 and SGS 201. These are online courses. One is covering academic and research integrity, and the other is covering accessibility for Ontarians with disabilities. So these courses become available on November 29th, and that's just in a couple of days. Oh, and they must be completed by January 31st. Now, programs may have different requirements for you to enroll in these courses. So if you cannot enroll and you're not sure why, please check with your program. We'll be sharing some helpful links after the webinar on how to enroll and how to complete SGS 101 and 201. If you have technical issues with enrollment, you could contact us in the grad school. But if you're not sure about your enrollment requirements, again, please contact your program directly. Now, very important, getting paid. Graduate students, you may receive payment in two different ways. So for employment or teaching assistance and research scholarship payments, these are deposited directly into your bank account, your Canadian bank account, after you enroll in direct deposit. And then other scholarship and award payments will be sent to your McMaster email through direct e-transfer. So to receive your graduate support payments at the first pay date in mid-January, you must have completely enrolled by 8 p.m. on December 18th. If you have questions about getting paid, you can email gradpay@mcmaster.ca. If you have questions about scholarship and awards, you can contact sgschol@mcmaster.ca. In terms of working in Canada, to work and get paid in Canada, you must have a social insurance number and a Canadian bank account. Additional requirements for international students include conditions of work allowance that need to be printed on your statement. And if you're participating in a co-op work permit as well. For resources in terms of working in Canada for international students, there's immigration advising. And this team hosts monthly webinars about working in Canada. And you can also contact immigration at McMaster with your questions about working in Canada as an international student. Getting your SIN for international students, there's no fee to apply for a social insurance number. As mentioned, you do require this to work in Canada. And fortunately, you can get your SIN at the Toronto Pearson International Airport during office hours if you're flying into Toronto Pearson. There's also occasional SIN clinics on campus that you can access. You can visit online or an in-person Service Canada location. There's also a mail option, which is not recommended. We prefer and recommend if you choose one of the above options instead. The Student Resources team at the School of Graduate Studies organizes events and shares helpful resources for all graduate students. We have a useful web page on the School of Graduate Studies website called Graduate Community Resources, as well as a news and events tab for graduate students as well. So just to make you aware of that for right now and throughout your degree, that's where you'll find a lot of resources available for grad students. Our orientation hub, if you haven't visited that already, we do house important updates and information from graduate studies on the orientation hub. So please keep up to date with our emails that we send out and check out the orientation hub for everything that you'll need to get started. For international students, we also have a peer-to-peer grad navigator program for culturally relevant support. You can make a familiar connection and get support from a current international student through this program, connect on shared experiences, and access and learn about university and community resources through a peer. You can register through a link on the International Grad Navigator page if you're interested in getting connected with that. So just a few reminders and to-dos and from the administrative perspective, you're going to activate your Mac ID. You're going to upload a photo for your student card, update your personal information in Mosaic, and clear the conditions of your admission. These are a few key dates to be aware of. So November 21st to December 5th is on-time enrollment. December 6th to January 2nd is late enrollment. January 25th is tuition and fees deadline, excuse me. And January 31st is the completion deadline to complete those two courses, SGS 101 and 201. Again, you can refer back to these slides by gathering them from our website after today. If you need to get in touch with graduate studies, you can contact us through our website using the live chat with a staff member on Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. till 12, and then 1 to 4. And then there's also a chat bot that's available 24/7 through the website as well. We've got separate email addresses depending on where your question needs to be directed. Admissions email address would cover technical issues about your admissions. Records, you could email for technical questions about your enrollment, your records, or petitions. GradPay for questions about your funding and scholarships, and then scholarships directly for questions about your scholarships. We do recommend you contact your program for questions about admissions conditions clearing, program structure, enrollment requirements, TA assignments, degree requirements, and your funding package, as these are all managed at the program or departmental level. Okay, now I'm going to talk a little bit more about the resources and services for graduate students that are available to you. So first of all, we have a nice package of resources to support students and graduate supervisors around supervisory relationships. There's a template that you can download from our website as well. It's called Getting the Supervisory Relationship Off to a Good Start. This is intended to be a conversation starter. It's intended to be completed by both the student and the supervisor together at the beginning of a student's program, but it can be revisited at any time. Most programs, it's optional. It's just recommended by the School of Graduate Studies. Your program may require it, depending on your program. As well on the website, you'll find our guidelines for students, supervisors, programs, and committees around graduate supervision. So please check out this page to review a summary of the expectations and roles. If you need a quick reference, if you're not sure about something, as well as to find supports around self-efficacy, awareness, and effective communication throughout the supervisory relationship. The graduate calendar is also a very, very useful and important resource for your reference, and that's linked on our page, as well as for PhD students, the PhD supervision policy. All of this is available on the website, so this is just to let you know that it's available and to encourage you to check this out in your own time. Just a note about what to do if the expectations around your graduate supervision is not being met. So either if the student or a supervisor isn't holding up their end of what you agreed to, there are some steps that the School of Graduate Studies does recommend for folks to follow. So first of all, raise your concerns and have a discussion with your supervisor directly, if appropriate. And if the issue still isn't resolved, then it can be raised at the level of the graduate chair. Sometimes it's called a department advisor, a director, a program lead, a program head. Different programs have different names or titles for this role, but every program will have a grad chair or a department lead, and you'll know who they are when you start your program if you don't know already. And then if the issue isn't resolved at the level of the department or program, then the issue would be raised with the associate dean for your faculty. Every faculty has an associate dean for graduate studies that supports the administration, rules and regulations for grad studies. Additionally, and sort of part of this as well are concerns about mistreatment, harassment, or discrimination. Should you have concerns in these areas, there's the Equity and Inclusion Office. There's also a campus ombuds that can be accessed by students. And in the case of teaching assistantship or employment concerns about mistreatment, harassment, or discrimination, you can also get in touch with the labor union, which you'd be a part of, which is CUPE 3906. Some additional supports around graduate supervision, if you're running into challenges, would be the Student Wellness Center, your Graduate Student Association, as well as a trusted peer, mentor, or staff member. For disability and accommodations processes, the Student Accessibility Services is the office that manages academic accommodations. So if you have a disability and you would like to set up academic accommodations, please connect with SAS as soon as possible before classes or academic work begins, ideally. However, for workplace accommodations, teaching assistantships, and other types of campus employment, accommodations for people with disabilities are requested through Human Resources. So we do have a page as well on our website that covers graduate school and disability and accommodations. So I encourage you to check that out. We also have a pre-recorded webinar that you'll find on that page about accessing accommodations for graduate students with disabilities to learn more about that process directly. Health and wellness. So the Student Wellness Center is the place on campus that addresses your student physical and mental wellness needs. You can access counseling options, medical services, and wellness programs, and this is covered through your supplemental fees that you pay to the university, so there's no cost to students to access the Student Wellness Center on campus. There's also a grad wellness newsletter, which is made by graduate students for graduate students. And we'll share a link after the webinar with how to sign up to receive that newsletter as well if you're interested. Additionally, in terms of health and wellness, there's a group on campus called Open Circle. It's a diverse and consensus-based community where McMaster students can discuss life, spiritual, and societal issues, as well as find volunteer opportunities that are available in the broader Hamilton community. So we are including this link in case you wanted to get involved and find out about more of what Open Circle has to offer as well. The Equity and Inclusion Office promotes and supports institution-wide commitments to equity, diversity, inclusion, and accessibility. So this office is responsible or manages human rights and dispute resolution, inclusion and anti-racism education, accessibility program, the Sexual Violence Prevention and Response Office, and is responsible for the related policies, so the accessibility policy, discrimination and harassment policy, and the sexual violence policy. You can learn more about the office by visiting their website. Writing support. So we have some resources again on our student resources page, just to highlight a few here about the writing supports that are available. There's a writing center that graduate students can access for one-on-one appointments that's run through the Student Success Center. They also offer workshops and writing intensives. They cover writing productivity and developing your writing skills at the graduate level. And you can learn more about and how to access the writing services through their website. As well, the School of Graduate Studies site has a few resources for graduate students as well that we wanted to make you aware of at this time. One is an online module that covers an introduction to graduate level writing that could be useful to students coming into a master's in particular, or if you've been away from education, formal education for a while, or just as a nice refresher. And then a little bit later on in your degree, if you're in a thesis based program, there's a thesis writer's toolkit that's available online that was actually created by graduate students directly. So wanted to flag that for you for when the time comes. Career and professional development. So there's graduate career counseling and job search coaching that graduate students are able to access. It's also offered through the Student Success Center. And here you can receive one-on-one appointments. There's programs and workshops, job fairs, and recruitment events. And additionally, some career and professional development resources include mentorship, networking, and leadership. There's several online learning opportunities you can access for career prep and job search, as well as workshops and learning lessons. And this is all available for you to check out on the website. Teaching and learning resources. So a couple to highlight: the McPherson Institute for Teaching and Learning manages and is responsible for classroom instructional skills, teaching and learning certificate program for graduate students, TA training, workshops, as well as they offer a weekly McPherson memo, which is very useful to hear about the different opportunities that are offered throughout the year by McPherson. And for teaching assistants who are working on campus, or if you have what's called a research assistant in lieu of a TA, you are part of a labor union. It's called CUPE 3906, and you're protected under a collective agreement. There's also a health plan and advocacy offered through CUPE, so we definitely recommend checking out CUPE website if you are a TA or RA in lieu. The graduate studies, there is a graduate studies librarian and faculty-specific librarians on campus who are here to support you throughout your graduate journey. Librarians are your friends. Who doesn't love a librarian? They can offer support with research consultations and citation management. Also in Mills Library, which is one of the libraries on campus, there is a dedicated grad and postdoc study room that you can request access to just for some quiet study space. It's featured here. There's a photo of some students working at larger tables. The room also includes soft seating and some sort of high top tables. So it's a great space to get some work done. And then there's the specialized research and innovation centers that are housed through the libraries as well. Just a few are listed here to highlight: the Sherman Center for Digital Humanities, the Data Analysis Support Hub, or DASH, and the Lions New Media Center. There's also remote library support. And so for more information about this, please visit the website for the library that we'll follow up with after the webinar. We've got some financial information or resources for matters of finances. The Student Success Center's Mac Money Center offers one-on-one meetings with an accredited money coach, as well as information sessions and workshops, support for filing tax, and you can visit Mac's Money Center online. Financial support in terms of emergency circumstances, you can contact the registrar office for if you're encountering financial emergencies and negative circumstances outside of your control, to see if you would qualify for emergency financial support, as well the Graduate Students Association and grad studies bursaries may be an option for you as well. Some specialized offices and communities that we wanted to ensure folks are aware of include the Black Student Success Center on campus, the Grad Parents Network, which is a Facebook group. It's sort of largely community active, community focused active, but that's for graduate students who have parenting responsibilities during grad school. Indigenous Student Services, the International and Exchange Student Experience Office, the Latin American Network at McMaster University, or LANMU, and the Spiritual Care and Learning Center. As well, the Graduate Students Association is your association. That's an autonomous association run by and for graduate students. And the GSA it administers your health and dental insurance, as well as your bus pass, softball and soccer leagues. There's awards that you can apply or nominate other graduate students to. They also run student clubs for graduate students, scholarships, bursaries, emergency funds, and the Phoenix, which is a bar and restaurant on campus that's owned and operated by graduate students themselves. Certainly, please check out their website if you haven't done so already to find out ways to access these supports and get more involved. And all of this, again, once again, the resources that we share today and even more are available on the Graduate Community Resources page of the School of Graduate Studies website. And now I'm going to turn things over to a colleague. I've talked quite a bit, so I'm going to um, turn things over to my colleague, Anna Pereira, to share some information and resources and services for international students.
Thank you, Andrea. Welcome, everyone. My name is Anna Pereira, and I'm the team lead for the International and Exchange Student Experience team. And we'll talk a little bit about some resources specifically for international students. So there's our team there. We have immigration consultants, we have some program advisors, lots of different people on the team, student staff. So throughout your time here, you'll most likely meet all of us, or at least one of us. Some of the services that we provide is immigration and mobility advising. Your UHIP, which is the University Health Insurance Plan that all international students are automatically enrolled into. We also plan lots of events, activities, workshops, and webinars for you during the year. We support incoming exchange students and support outgoing exchange students as well. Our email is there. That's our main email address. We also have in-person drop-ins every day except for Wednesday. So Mondays and Thursdays, we're there from 1:30 to 4. So drop-ins means that you are able to come in without an appointment and you can speak to some of our staff concerning any questions that you have. And then Tuesdays and Fridays from 9 to 12. Or if you prefer, we do still have appointments that you can book directly on Oscar Plus for a time that maybe will fit better with you with your schedule if you can't make it to the drop-ins. And then you can also visit our ISE webpage for more information on some of the things that we do. So I'm going to go ahead and speak a little bit about the UHIP plan. So as mentioned, UHIP stands for the University Health Insurance Plan, and you pronounce it as UHIP. So it is a mandatory 12-month plan, and it starts on September. It starts in September, and it goes until August. So for students who are starting now in January, the system will not recognize that you are a January start. So you will most likely see in your student account that you're being charged for 12 months for UHIP. The charge is $756. So what that means is that if you are a January start, you're going to have to send an email to uhip@mcmaster.ca. Just let me know that you are starting your studies in January. Make sure to include your student number, and then we will manually adjust your UHIP so that it starts in January. So your UHIP for this year will start January 1st, and it will go until August 31st, 2025. Once you enroll into studies again for September, then you will then be at that time charged for the 12 months from September until August. Just note that UHIP is mandatory for any spouse or children that are coming with you. Please connect with us to enroll them within 30 days of their arrival, or you will be charged $500 late fee, and you'll also be charged retroactive fees. So that means if your dependents are coming with you in January, and you don't let me know until March, you will be charged the late fee of $500, and then your dependents will be backdated and enrolled from the date that they arrive. So it is very important that you do please connect with me so we get your dependents added on time and properly. And also you want to make sure that they have coverage just the same as you. Healthcare in Ontario is very expensive. So the last thing that you want to do is accumulate a big hospital bill or a medical bill when you have coverage that will cover that for you. Also note that the earliest the plan will start for you. So UHIP recognizes that students are moving around and coming to Canada not on January 1st. They're coming a little bit earlier. So the earliest that you will have coverage is December 10th. I want you to understand that that's from December 10th until December 31st. The UHIP is considered emergency based only. What this means is that you are not able to book appointments. So it's an emergency-based plan. So if you get hurt and you have to go to the hospital, you have to see a doctor, it's an emergency, you will be covered. But you can't go ahead and book yourself in to go see a doctor or go take some blood. It can't be booked. It can't be planned. It's just there for if you need it until the plan actually starts on January 1st. In terms of enrollment or activation or any of that, you don't need to do any of that. You just have to make sure that you are registered at McMaster, that you do have courses, so you're active, and then the system will automatically pick you up and enroll you into the UHIP plan. Early January, so we're back January 6th. So as of that time, you will then, or around that time, you will then get an email from Cowen. Please make sure to check your junk mail and your spam McMaster email, because the email from Cowen will most likely end up in there. Once you get that email, follow the instructions. It will give you a link where you're going to go put in your name, your student number, your date of birth, and then that will take you to your UHIP card. So the UHIP card is not like a physical, like a Visa card or a credit card. It's just a piece of paper. So you can print it, it folds in the middle, carry it in your wallet with you, and then once you go see a doctor or wherever you have to go, you can show it to them. It also does not have a photo, so please make sure you bring photo ID. So if you go get help, or if you get medical help here on campus, you'll be showing your student card. If you're getting help in the community, make sure you bring a passport or some kind of photo ID, as they might ask to see it. Any inquiries or questions on UHIP, please go to uhip@mcmaster.ca, send us an email there. You can also get more information on the UHIP plan. I'll put some links in the chat after for everyone so they can see more information on the UHIP plan, what it covers, how it works. Also, every month we have a UHIP webinar where we invite your supplementary plan to be there as well, so we can look at the plan and see kind of who covers what, so you can understand how that will work. And that happens virtually every month. Everything that we do is posted on Oscar Plus. We do require that you register for things up front so we know who's coming. It's just better for us logistically. So if we have food at an event, we know who's coming. So please make sure that if you are registering, you are committing to coming, just because a lot of our things are there's a space capacity. So please make sure that you do register and you do attend. Next. So as I had briefly mentioned, you do have a supplementary health and dental plan. So as you might know or not know, UHIP will not cover everything. So UHIP was created to basically mimic what Canadian citizens and permanent residents of Ontario have. So that is what your UHIP will cover. So things like doctor's appointments, labs, surgeries, any exams you have to take, like MRIs, CAT scans, whatever it may be, that's going to go under your primary health plan, which would be under your UHIP. As a graduate student, and this is for all graduate students, not just international students, as a graduate student, you also have a supplementary health and dental plan. So that plan will cover things like prescription medication, dental, vision, massage therapy, if you get hurt and you need crutches, things like that. Also, very good to know is that the GSA has a travel plan. So if you ever have to go to another country for a conference, I know a lot of students usually go to the US, make sure you tap into that travel plan, because UHIP is not a travel plan and you will not have coverage once you leave the province of Ontario. So as a GSA member, you do have that additional plan there for you and those benefits there for you. So make sure you use those. Also for the GSA plan, you should be adding your dependents to this plan just so that they also have the same coverage as you do. Again, just like medical care is expensive, so are things like antibiotics. And that is covered under your GSA. So please make sure that you also enroll your dependents timely into the GSA. If you are a TA or if you are an RA, you then will have additional benefits through CUPE. So how it will work is if you're not a TA or an RA, you have health and dental through GSA. If you are a TA or an RA, you will have the health supplementary benefit through the GSA, but then your dental plan moves over to the CUPE benefits. So this, I believe, happens all automatically. I do not look after either of these plans. They're all different offices. Also note that if you do enroll your dependents into UHIP, or if you enroll your dependents into the GSA plan, our plans don't talk. So I will not email the GSA telling them to enroll your dependents, and they will not do the same as well. So you'll have to go to these different plans and enroll them yourself, just for confidentiality and just so you know that information is not shared like that amongst different departments in the university. So again, webinars will occur each month, and we always invite the GSA and CUPE to be there as well, just to get an overall view of your actual health plan in total. So again, register on Oscar Plus. A lot of our events for January are not up on Oscar Plus yet. They will be before the end of December. So please make sure you go on and see what we have planned for you. Some other services and supports that we have for international students, or it doesn't have to be internationals if English is not your first language. There is the office called Model. So that's the McMaster Office for the Development of English Language Learners. We partner with Model on a lot of workshops that we have. Some of them are there listed for you that we have during this term. They also have a lot of lessons and workshops like conversation circles where you can go and improve your English, your spoken English, and get more comfortable in your English speaking. Also, there's one-on-one help is available depending on what each student needs. And again, though all of those workshops, they will be up on Oscar Plus, I promise, before the end of December, and then you can start registering and attending those. So Model is a great resource. It's free, it's included in your tuition. So please make sure that you use that resource while you're here. Traveling to McMaster. So many of you, if not all of you, will be arriving at the Pearson Airport, which is in Toronto, Toronto/Mississauga. So students usually arrive 2 to 4 weeks before the start of their program. So programs might have early arrival dates. So when you arrive, make sure you have with you the documents listed there. So a valid passport or travel document, your offer letter, letter of introduction indicating your study permit is approved, or your study permit if you already have one. Things like a TRV or an ETA, depending what country you are arriving from. Financial proof that you have enough funds to support yourself during your stay in Canada. Any other documents that the visa office told you to bring. Do not be upset if the officer does not ask you for any of these documents. Do not be upset if the officer asks for all these documents plus more. It just depends on which officer that you get. The best thing that we can tell students is just to be prepared, have everything ready for you so that you can have that transition or that entry into Canada as smooth as possible. So McMaster University is about 68 kilometers away from the Pearson Airport. Travel time or getting to Hamilton will depend on the time of day. There is what we call rush hour, which is usually when people are all getting off from work. And sometimes you're sitting in traffic for a long time to get to Hamilton. So just make sure that you understand what time that you're arriving so that you can plan accordingly. So your ways or your methods of transportation to Hamilton, you can either take the GO Bus Route 40. There is the GO Bus terminal is in Terminal 1 of the Pearson Airport. If you go down to the basement, there is a little machine there that you can buy a ticket to get on the bus. Please bring a credit card with you or Canadian funds. I think the easiest is if you have a credit card, it's just easier to buy that ticket. And then if you just go outside the doors of Terminal 1, there's like a pole that has the number of what bus will be passing by there, and then you can just stand there and wait for the bus. If you're not sure if that's the right bus drivers are usually fairly nice. Just make sure you ask them if this is the right bus and where it's going before you get on the bus so you don't get lost. There's also some private transportation that you can get. There are taxis that they're like the black limousine taxis that just sit outside the airport. You can go into one of those. Just note the price. It will probably be more than $100 to get into Hamilton. So please make sure that before you get into the car, you know exactly how much you're paying so that you don't have any surprises upon your arrival. There are ride shares. There's also pre-booked transportation services within the airport. There's also another local place that we use called Airways Transit. So you can book a ride with them as well. So if that's something that you're interested, you can book with them. They have a booth in the terminals. You just go to the booth and then they'll have a driver waiting for you. What to pack? This is a great question. I know I'm pretty sure you want to bring everything with you, but please make sure you check the CVSA website to see what's legal to bring into Canada and what is not legal to bring into Canada. So bring things like power adapters if you're bringing electronics from your home country, personal medicine, and a doctor's prescription. I would caution you there. Just make sure that whatever medicine you are taking, again, is legal in Canada. There might be different versions that might be illegal here. So please check that before you bring stuff over. Non-perishable snacks. Again, check the list of accepted food that is able to come into Canada. Copies of official documents and emergency contact is good to have. Consider comparing prices of items in your home country and Canada to see if you should bring them or not. One thing I always tell students, especially if you're coming from a warmer country. Don't buy a winter jacket back home or boots. Make sure you buy those items here. Our winters are a lot colder than a lot of the warmer countries, so it's best that you buy things here. Also, we usually plan during the first week of school, we have a Walmart trip where we bring students where they can also get things like linens and lamps if you need them for your room or whatever it may be. So just note that we do also have that trip that will be planned. You get on a school bus, we'll take you to Walmart, and then after like that, you don't have to carry all of your groceries or whatever it may be in a bus or a taxi. We will have a school bus dedicated for you, and then it will drop you off on campus as well. Get ready. Winter is on its way. We're actually expecting some snow this week, some little flurries, which is very exciting as we're very close to the Christmas in December. So winters are cold with the average temperatures ranging from -15 to about -30, and that's in January, February. Those are usually our coldest months. Something that I always tell students is even though it might say it's -10, we have what's called the wind chill factor. So that means that it can be -10, but it feels like -25. So that means that that wind is wicked and it's cold and you need to bundle up. So winters bring a unique mixture of snow, crisp sunshine, cold winters, and blue skies. And sometimes you get all of this mixture in just one day. You'll get sunny skies, then all of a sudden it's overcast and it's snowing like crazy. Then it could be raining, and then after it's sunny again. So we never know what we're gonna get. And sometimes that's why a lot of people will just talk about the weather because we never know what we're gonna get. So how to prepare or dress for the winter months. So make sure to cover any exposed skin. So things like your neck, your hands, your ears, your nose, your face, your feet as well. So especially in the very, very cold months and days, you don't want to have any skin exposed so that you do not get any frostbite. So please make sure you bundle up. And if you're used to a warmer climate and it's your first winter in Canada, it might be intimidating with the cold weather and snowy conditions, but nothing like a nice cup of warm hot chocolate to fix the problem. So enjoy the hot chocolate, enjoy the nice weather sports, the winter sports, and always, don't stay too long outside. So come in, come out. As long as you're bundled up, you have good jackets, warm socks, you'll also enjoy playing in the snow like all of us do. So to-do list after you arrive. So get your social insurance number. So we'll actually have a representative from Service Canada. They will be on campus in January. Again, these dates will all be posted on Oscar Plus. For this one, you do not need to register. It'll be a drop-in event that happens from I think it's 9:30 to 12 on certain days. Just make sure you read the posting because it will let you know all the information that you have to bring in terms of documents. And then you can get your social insurance number done here on campus very quickly in about 10 to 15 minutes. If you need it beforehand or if you want to do it on your own, if you're arriving here a little bit earlier, you can either do it online or you can go to a Service Canada location, which is up on the mountain, and you can do it there yourself. Make sure you update your address, emergency contacts, everything else on Mosaic. We need to have that information in case something happens. It's always good that we have updated information in case we need to contact someone. Get a Canadian bank account, pick up your student ID card, get a driver's license if that's something that you're interested in, or an Ontario photo card. And an Ontario photo card basically is good to have so that you don't have to carry around your passport. It's another piece of ID that is recognized, and then it just has your birth date and your picture, and it's photo ID so that you don't have to carry around your passport. Explore Hamilton. If you're coming in December, we have a ton of events already planned for students here in December that are celebrating some of the Canadian traditions around Christmas and the holiday season. So if you want to meet some friends early, make sure you come out to those. They'll be held in our office at McMaster. Again, register on Oscar Plus. Those are up, so you can go check those out. Also get to know the city. There's lots of Christmas markets and lots of twinkly lights downtown, lots of great restaurants that you can try out. Lots of festivals around this time of year as well. Take a stroll on campus, get to know nature. We have a beautiful campus, lots of nature around us. So just get out there and get acquainted with your new home.